Good evening, everyone. It's Lazy Fit Gamer and LFG podcast. And intentionally, it stands as well for looking for group. As I'm looking for a group of people with the same goal. They want to be healthy, fit, and live long without sacrificing the lifestyle, without sacrificing the stuff we like. Like if you are a gamer, probably games. If you like food, ice creams, chocolate like me, you are just a human. And yeah, I think that this is missing on YouTube. As I was looking for that when I started my journey to change my life 10 months ago, what you can tell by the videos on my channel, and I didn't find one. I found multiple channels where lifestyle is like a religion, but I'm not looking for religion, therefore I'm not really interested in that. I found channels where lifestyle is a job. Those are fitness channels where basically people eat and exercise full time. I cannot do it as I already have full-time job unless someone is from UK and want to hire me to exercise and eat on full time. I'm taking the job. If you have job for me where I will be exercising and eating full time, I'm taking it. But as long as it's not an option, I will keep my job full time and I will keep going with that. Topic of the podcast: overfed and undernourished. It will be extension to the video I did earlier. I didn't want to make a video very long, but I need a lot of time to go into details, and I will be doing it in the form on the podcast. I'm happy that YouTube changed the rules and I'm able to live stream even without hitting 1K subscribers, which is a welcome change. And let me say hello to people in the chat: Ginger J, Anyway, CPT Glowstick, Justin Honer, Mr. Joshua, Lauren in Wasteland, Wrong Border, George UK, Texas Swedes. Welcome. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you in here. And yes, on the cover of this podcast, there are chocolate ice creams. I love chocolate ice creams. I had some. And especially today, if you see me sweating, it's not because it's my first live stream here and I'm so stressed. No, it's not that. The reason for that is today, where I live in UK, Coventry, we have 38 degrees centiscale, which translate into just over 100 Fahrenheit. And that's not a normal temperature for UK. It is way above that. I'm not used to this heat. Therefore, what I'm having, it's not a coffee. This time it's not a coffee in this cup. I don't know if you can see it, but it is iced tea. Half a gallon of iced tea that I made myself. It's delicious, and it will hopefully keep me a little bit colder. If you need a recipe, I made it with 2 bags of Yorkshire tea. Of course, you need to use hot water to make a tea, but only a little bit. Don't use too much, as you will need to add too much ice after that. Then half a lemon. I'm using organic lemon because I slice it into small pieces and toss it into the hot water with bags of tea. I keep it like that for like 3 minutes. Hot water, freshly boiled water. Then I remove the bags. I add some sweetness, what I used in here. I didn't want it to be too much calories. I'm not absolutely against every type of non-sugar sweetener. Then for me, it's mixed of 1 teaspoon of normal table sugar and 3 teaspoons of stevia. I noticed that stevia extract quite well synergizes with lemon and tea, but I still need to add table sugar to have the perfect taste. And of course, after you have all that mixed, you add ice, lots of ice, until you have half a gallon of iced tea. That's the recipe time with Turtle. Let me take a look on the chat. So far, no bot invasion. Hopefully there will be no bot invasion. I hate those. I need to have some moderators. Then I will promote some of you that I know by name. Just in case bots will arrive, you will get some promotions. I don't know exactly who I should do it, but I'm pretty confident about almost every single one of you in the chat at this moment. I will give like 3 promotions. Then I have some moderators. If you notice that you have range now, then you are a moderator. Hunt on the bots if they appear. Hopefully they will not, but if they will appear, hunt them down. Take them down. And about the food, the topic of the last video. Overfed and undernourish. What this basically is, it's our times. Ultra-processed food. What is that? We have plenty of calories, therefore macronutrients. Macronutrients we have more than enough. Carbohydrates, fat, and protein. Yeah, protein is there. We have more than enough protein. More than enough carbohydrates, more than enough fat in our diet. What we are missing is everything else. Really highly processed, we are missing everything else. And I will start with one example I wanted to include in the video, but I didn't. There was not enough time. We'll go for this reason. This time we'll use Tesco website. We'll use Tesco website. Tesco website. There we go. Tesco. And look what happened if I put butter into the search. First, I will have two sponsored. Flora battery. Okay, let's see that. It's like not a butter, but it's first on the search. And you have club card offer. Amazing, yeah? If we click on that, we follow through, and what it says, first thing, contains omega-3 and 6. Sounds great. What does it mean? It means it contains fat. Then, contributes to the maintenance of normal blood cholesterol levels. Which is what? Contributes to maintenance? How? What exactly it does? This sentence means nothing. Then a daily intake of 2 gram alpha linolenic acid and 10 grams of linoleic acid is needed. Okay, cool. Needed for what? Is there any research link to any of that? It doesn't say anything else. Next. Twice 10 gram serving of Flora a day contribute a significant amount to this. Enjoy as part of a healthy diet. Like, how you can even squeeze in healthy on ultra-processed products? I cannot understand that. And lifestyle, healthy diet, and who doesn't want a healthy diet and lifestyle? Eat more ultra-processed food. That's the message. Let's skip that. 75% vegetable fat spread. Perfect for spreading, cooking, baking, and topping. And before we go any further, it's not as bad as it used to be, but I'm old enough, I feel old at this moment, to remember first implementation of like mass invasion of those food plant spreads to replace the butter. I still remember, and I believed that in the time. I was still like, I don't know how old I was, but way too young to understand anything. I was a kid. And during the movie, it was like 3 to 4 times advertisement saying, replace your butter with vegetable spread, with margarine, to improve your health, to improve your heart, strong heart, thanks to margarine. It was everywhere. And what happened soon after? Several years later, direct link between heart disease and margarine. It wasn't only healthy, it was directly causing the heart disease, and it was advertised as healthy. That's how crazy the life is now where we are. The advertisement above everything, nothing else matters. They can directly lie, tell you something is healthy that is actually causing a disease. It's not only unhealthy, that there is not only no benefits, it's directly ruining your health, and it can be advertised as healthy. What's in it? Plant oils, because it says vegetable spread. There is no vegetable giving you butter. Seed oils, palm oils, then a little bit of sunflower oils and linseed. Mixed with water, a little bit of buttermilk, some salt, emulsifiers, flavorings, vitamin A. But if you look on the list of ingredients, it's dropping amount. Then you have some vitamin A, don't know how much, a little. Flora buys 100% sustainable palm oil. What does this mean? Nothing. Just means that the palm oil that they produce can be produced for more years. They can sustain production. Awesome. They can keep making it for another 100 years, which is a really good news for a customer. Allergy information, that's actually important for people that have allergies. In those times, I have allergies, you probably have some allergies, then this is actually important to always include. That I'm happy with that. But look at that, another one that sounds good. Free from preservatives. Okay, that sounds good, but then look at the container. It's not actually a super sealed container. There is some sealing on top, but this is not a container that's 100% sealed. Therefore, it cannot be guaranteed that no bacteria will have access to this battery spread. Therefore, no preservatives indicates it's not so healthy. For me, I don't think it's so healthy because there is no microorganism that want to eat it. If no one want to touch it, there is some reason for it, most likely, as if you leave butter for a long time in a box like that, it will not stay fresh, it will spoil, and this will not. Then that's for me, like, I'm doubtful about the health benefits of product that will never spoil. Offer valid for delivery. What is that? Oh, I will not be able to see here, most likely, how long it can be stored. It will not be stated. There is some nutritional information. Now look at that. Energy. Calories, in other words. Calories are not everything, but 100 gram, 675 calories. A lot of calories, very little nutrients. It does state that there is vitamin A, 15% recommended dose per 100 gram. Really? That's high? 15%? That's nothing. That's nothing. There is no micronutrients. Vitamin A, it's the only one that they actually notice exist in it at all. But after that, there is no micronutrients. They try to claim that those omega-6 and 3 are something good. It's just fat. It's just fat. Two different fat types. There is a lot of fat types. Unsaturated, saturated, and so on. We can spread them and see all around. That doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. You are taking empty calories. I like this actual saying, empty calories. It exactly reflects what most of our food is. Calories without any depth into it. Therefore, if we start consuming, that's my theory, if we start consuming too much calories that do not contain micronutrients, at some point we are deficient, therefore malnourished. We are lacking micronutrients. What's going on next? We'll be more and more hungry. Our body is not stupid. It will try to defend itself from starvation. Therefore, we'll be hungry again. We'll seek food until we provide enough micronutrients. What if we provide way more calories than we need, seeking micronutrients? Those calories goes into fat on our body and might make us sick. That's my theory. That's my main theory of obesity. It's not the only reason. I know that. But I think in our times, it's like a dominant reason. Dominant reason of obesity. overfed, malnourished. Not the exclusive one. Don't say that I'm lying and that's the only reason. I am not. I'm not claiming it's the only reason. There can be a lot of other reasons, but taking the look on the data and how obesity is growing up, the only thing it correlates with is ultra-processed food. There is no other correlation. Some people claim it's sugar. I didn't found it. Like, sugar is not something new. We have sugar sugar is widely available for like 200 years already. Then if this will be a direct link, the obesity will not start in recent 20 years when it exploded. It would be from 100 years ago, but it wasn't. Then I pretty much doubt in that. Let me take a look on the chat and what you think. Do you agree with what I was going through? Wow, it's so hot. Wow, it's so hot. Do you agree or disagree on my take? I'm always open to other points of view. That's what I try to do. I try to stay open for every point of view. I intentionally watch carnivores, herbivores, vegans, carnivores that are claiming... I found one specific carnivore that called himself carnivore, I think carnivore MD or something, and says that he eats lots of fruits in addition to it. I'm like, okay, mate. How can you be carnivore eating fruits? If you play Fallout 76, you know it's not the thing. Either you are carnivore or you are not. If you are carnivore eating fruits, you are omnivore, like everyone else. You are not a carnivore eating fruits. Okay. Texas is hot now. Yeah, I know a lot of parts of the world is hot, but UK is not. I'm not really good with heat, to be honest. But I love iced tea. Then that's a perfect time for me to drink more iced tea. And I'm sorry if I'm too excited when I'm talking about food. I'm too excited because I was doing too much research how to help myself and everyone who is willing and happy to join my journey. Olive spread. I would not go too happy with olive spread either, because you know that it's not a natural process. I saw how it works. And adding hydrogen to your fat in chemical process in a chemical plant is not beneficial to your health. There is no way it can be beneficial to your health. I would rather have olive oil normally and use regular butter when I need a spread. But that's just me. If you think other way will be better, maybe I just really doubt it will be the case. So my background is industrial biotechnology. I was studying chemistry and I cannot see it. I cannot see how it will be beneficial. And thank you for all the likes. Yeah, likes help. That's a new channel then. Likes, shares, if you want to show your friend this channel, that helps greatly. Not mandatory. I'm not saying you need to do it. You can if you want to, if you find it useful. I need a fan. I don't want to put a fan here. It will make noise. I still need to do. You agree? And yeah, ultra processed foods. That's the target number one. Too much sugar? Yeah, we certainly have too much sugar in food, but I don't think sugar alone it's a problem. The problem with sugar, it's like every other processed food. We have calories, no nutrients. If we combine ultra-processed fat with ultra-processed sugar, we have sweets. If we add to that ultra-processed protein in form of a shake or whatever else, ultra-processed protein, fat and sugar, will end up with perfect macronutrients for some of the targets that people are seeking for with no micronutrients, and it will be the most unhealthy diet ever. And what I notice in recent trends is just this push at promotion of protein. Have more protein, like this is the main issue. Like they trying to switch it. They trying to switch it around. Show you that you just need more protein. You good. You good. You just need more protein. And then you will end up with all three macronutrients replaced from whole food sources, including all the vitamins and minerals, to macronutrients stripped out from all the stuff that you really need. Yeah, margarine was never tasty. That's another thing. That should be an indication something is wrong with that. It wasn't food. Now it's a little bit better. I know they changed the process. Maybe it will not kill you anymore, but it's still stripped from the micronutrients. Maybe it will not directly kill you like it used to, but still stripped. Good point, CPT Glowstick. You cannot work out of a bad diet. You cannot do it. Why you cannot do it? It's again the same topic. If you provide a lot of calories, you will not be able to use out those calories without all other nutrients. I know by myself. I love sweets. Ultra processed sweets, my thing. And I still eat some. But now I change my life in this sense that I make sure that I provide enough healthy food to be able to actually use calories when I occasionally have a treat for myself. What was in the past, that's very interesting. I don't know if you noticed that. What I was doing is my way of dealing with stress usually was to have lots of food, sweets. After I was eating a lot of those, result of eating on plenty of calories, like I was easily able to eat like ice cream, chocolate, stuff like that, 2000 calories, one sitting, no problem. Result of that, sleepiness. I was sleepy, I was tired. I didn't feel any jump in energy. And now, since I'm like 10 months into totally changed diet, when I allow myself to have like big ice cream, I will eat big chocolate ice cream. What is the result of that? I feel energized. I want to move. I want to do something. Like the sugar rush. I was surprised first time when this happened. I was expecting that I will allow myself a cheat and I will go sleep. But it was like, wow, I have energy from food that's not generally super healthy. And when we are talking about ice cream, yeah, hashtag save the Brahmin. If you don't know the code, then try to Google what Brahmin is and you will know what we are talking about. For safety reason, I will be always using Brahmin instead of the other word that can be not very welcome, as it seems like huge movement to annihilate Brahmins from the surface of the earth is going on. Then I'm using only this one word. And what I do, as I always say, support locally if you can. And I do that. Like I found a farm that is quite far away from me, actually. I have a 40 minutes drive, but I go there to buy my raw milk, to buy my eggs that are from the chickens that can actually run around and not have a small hole at the end of the huge hangar that they can look out and it counts a free range. Then they actually can run around. And I buy there as well ice creams, even though those are not healthy. They use additives, they use all the modern ingredients to make them super tasty, but simultaneously they use their own milk, then there is something into it. I'd buy it there. I buy it there. Therefore, I try to support and hopefully those farms will be able to survive and stay with us. I'm against, as much as it's possible, industrial production of food. It's not only worse for us consumers, but as well for people's for people that live out of it. I'm not really a big fan of corporations, you probably know that. Then I prefer local and smaller. But that's what I do about my ice creams. The point was, I got energy from those, even though it's mainly sugar. But my body is no longer like stripped from all the micronutrients. It is a different story. And of course, I'm not spending too much time. How I deal with my main meal, I just put lots of veggies in the wok. I fill it up and I cook once per 3 days. I'm honest, I'm not spending much time. Cooking is not my job. Exercising is not my job. When I want to exercise, you cannot see it here, but there are my 2 dumbbells. I hold them on the floor next to me, always in the line of sight and always available to be picked up. No obstruction. I don't put them into any container. I don't do anything like that. When I stand up from the computer, I look at those dumbbells and, okay, maybe before I head out from my room or to the kitchen or somewhere, I do a couple exercises, push those dumbbells up or do something with them. That's my approach to exercise. It costs me almost nothing time-wise, and I keep doing it. That's how I sorted that out. But back to the food. Okay, back to the food. Back to the groceries. Wait, camera. Okay, back to the food. No, groceries. Summer barbecue. What will we find there? Look at that. I open summer barbecue. What is summer barbecue? Coke. Diet Coke. Another Diet Coke. Real mayonnaise. How real is it? I don't know. It's probably a lot of vegetable oil. Then processed meat. Like, I'm not saying meat is wrong. I didn't find evidence to show that meat is overall dangerous for our health. I did find in my research that carnivores generally don't live as long as omnivores, vegetarians, or some types of vegans. Vegans are not the same as well. There is like a couple types of vegans at this moment, but from my research, strict carnivores seems to live shorter lives, therefore it's looked like veggies are needed. But the worst thing and the worst results have people eating processed meat from those research I was able to find. And if we go into what can be the case with that, we go under ingredients. That's what I like to check first. There is pork, it's first, then that's good, means there's lots of pork in it. But did you notice that it only says pork? It doesn't even say what kind of cut, what is it exactly. I don't like when they put it like that. Usually means the lowest quality meat they could find is used. So that there is some honey, soft brown sugar, like that's important ingredient of meat, salt. I generally have nothing against salt. I don't think it's easy to overdo salt. I can be wrong. There are some people that advocate you shouldn't eat any. I don't think it's actually so dangerous. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Some caramel, corn flour. Somehow this is an ingredient. Preservatives, sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate. I'm not sure how healthy it is if we start eating a lot of that. As what preservatives do, they generally kill bacteria. And in our guts, we have bacteria that we need to be healthy. Then I'm not sure what is the amount of preservatives we can eat before we kill our bacteria in addition to conserving the food. Generally, I still remember the saying from one of my professors. I know he didn't figure it out. I forget who said that first, but the dose makes a poison. Therefore, you never can look at one ingredient like salt, sugar, or preservatives and say, oh, that's gonna kill you just because it is in there, or will have some negative effect just because it is in there. It's always a dose portion. Then at some point, it can have a side effects. Up to some certain point, it is probably fine, as your body will be able to deal with that. But looking at those ingredients, not super promising. And we don't have much more info on that, apart from the fact that here is the energy. Per 2 slices, 56 calories. I don't know how heavy those 2 slices are. It's fat, sugars, sugars. Oh, look at that. I just noticed there is as much sugar as fat, when meat naturally contains almost no sugars. How this end up being the same? Something is totally not right with the processed meat. 100% British pork means nothing. Yeah, I don't know. And it says nothing about how this pork was produced, what this pork ate before it was changed into the food, and have no idea why there is no total nutrient information included. They don't include it at all, which is not good. Okay. Back. Barbecue. Some water. I don't generally buy bottled water. I'm not sure if it's okay or not. I'm using a filtered water from the tap, then filtered. I'm not a big fan of consuming lots of product in plastic containers, especially polytetraphthalate. I forgot how it was. PET, especially PET, because it's super transparent, super thin, super elastic, which means contains a lot of additives to keep it like that. I'm more into containers that, like milk, polypropylene. I think it's safer, from my knowledge. Cannot tell 100% what is perfectly fine and what is not, but reducing amount of plastic containers that hold liquids for months, probably a good idea. Then that's what I'm doing. Most likely not as big of a deal like other stuff in our food. There is more processed meat. Where is actual barbecue stuff? Oh, there is something. Beef steak burgers. Look how far you need to scroll in order to find meat that's supposed to be meat. What is it? At least here we have 94% beef. Going better. Still doesn't say what kind of a beef. It still is flour added. Dried potato. What is dried potato? Is it old potato? Dried onion. Yeah, I'm joking about potato, of course. Still, there is preservative sodium metabisulfite. Okay, that's new. I don't remember it from 15 years ago to be present in my meat. Must be new. Storage, cooking. Oh, there is nutrients. 200 calories per 100 gram. Okay, not as bad as a previous processed meat. Contains fat, saturates. I'm not like, when it comes from meat, about macros, amount of fat and saturates, I would not be too concerned about that, to be honest. There are some research showing that high consumption of fat from meat is not very good for us. But question is, what is high? What is high consumption? Generally, if I would choose for myself, I would go for the fat from meat over the vegetable spread that you can use for your sandwich. I would rather have fat in meat. Then there is carbohydrate that's most likely added. Oh no, it's sugar. Oh, okay. Sugars is low because this probably this dried potato and flour. Those are the carbohydrates. And lots of protein. Quite a lot of protein. Safety information? What? Oh, I didn't know that. Caution. This product contains raw meat. Although every care has been taken to remove bones, Some may remain. Caution: always wash hands, surfaces, and utensils after contact with raw meat. Oh, that's new. I don't know if it's specific for UK, all those warnings everywhere, or you have the same in States if you are watching from States and in other countries. But sometimes it's ridiculous for me. One thing that seems to be ridiculous for me, I was mentioning this farm that I'm visiting to buy my milk. You know, they need a special permission to be able to sell raw milk and other stuff directly from the farm. And this is crazy for me. I know there is a risk of bacteria contamination. I do understand that. There is a risk of bacteria contamination, but in the same time, I know that I can go to the local shop just outside my house and buy as much alcohol as I want and as much of cigarettes as I want. I could eat or smoke it all. No one cares. But if I want to buy a raw milk, they need a special permission to be able to sell it. Then isn't that crazy? I feel like it is. Back to the chat. Oh, Glanus, girl saying I have a seafood diet. You eat what you see? That's the seafood diet? Lauren in Wasteland is trying to eat more on the vegan side. What I'm eating, like I implemented, like I started using what vegans are using. They're saying that they are plant-based. I claim that I'm plant-based. I eat meat, I eat milk, I eat eggs, but I try to put as much plant stuff as I can as a base of my diet. Therefore, I am plant-based. Majority of my food is from plants. And then there is addition to this food that is milk, eggs, and meat. Not the other way around. Plants are not addition to my meat. Meat is addition to my plant-based. Then I am plant-based. And I will probably upset all the vegans by saying that and simultaneously eating everything. Okay, I'm behind with the chat. Oh, you enjoy lots of carbs and protein. All right. Yeah, portion control is not an easy thing. That's why I'm eating basically 2 meals a day. 2 main meals a day. I have like a breakfast and a dinner at this moment. 2. Sometimes I have some snacks. And recently I'm testing a new snack. I can show you. That's my new snack. That the only snack that I have on my desk. It's a cabbage. It's surprisingly tasty, crispy, and it can sit on the desk quite a long time and stays fresh. I will let you know more after I finish my test run. It's my 3rd cabbage now. After I finish my test run of cabbage as a snack, I will probably do like a short video. If it passes all the testing. Yeah, pasta is delicious, I agree. What I like sweet pasta from time to time. Not the healthiest type, but pasta with sour cream, cinnamon, and sugar. The table sugar. Not too much though. Just for taste. So delicious. You can eat so much of it. That's the problem. You can really eat so much of it. So easily. That's why I'm not eating pasta very often. I'm trying to limit the foods that are super easy to overconsume. Even if those are healthy. Like, I do have nuts and I eat some nuts. Not all of the nuts, because some nuts cause allergies for me. Then my choices are limited. But I always like take a limited amount and not the whole pack when I go to eat some nuts. It's so easy to like eat crazy amount of nuts. Mainly my theory is it's so easy even though those are natural, because at our times we buy those nuts without the shells. If I would have nuts with shells and I will need to break it, do some work to eat them, it will naturally slow me down. When they have no shells, I can just grab and shove into my face, and because it's mostly fat, I can eat like 2000 calories worth of nuts without any problem, without even realizing that I ate so much. That's why I like those calorie-dense foods after my dinner. Don't eat it as replacement, add it after my dinner to top up, like a top-up food. I don't feel full after a dinner, have a handful of nuts. Yeah, the corporations are intentionally making it more difficult to eat healthier because ultra-processed food give them money. How it works? You can easily make huge margin of income on those ultra-processed foods when you cannot do that with fresh ones. That's why we have so much of ultra-processed foods. Oh, those are saying, I live in California. Warn us, if we wake up in the morning, we may have an increased chance of cancer. Lol. You drink coconut milk. Do you drink coconut milk directly from the coconut? That's probably the best milk. I'm not a big fan of drinking coconut milk from the box. It tastes way better from the coconut itself, and then you can eat the coconut. Where do you stand of cocoa versus cocoa? Good joke. I've been snacking on strawberries. I'm using strawberries myself as well with egg cream. Whipped egg with strawberries. That's my binge eating snack. When I really want to have a huge sweet treat, I use whipped eggs with some sugar to be tasty, then the strawberries, because it's all together quite low on the calories. And when you whip the egg, the whole egg, not just the whites, the whole egg, I whip the whole egg, tastes way better. And it fills your stomach. This foam that is created from those eggs is so dense that it do not melt instantly in your stomach. Then you can eat quite a lot, and it's self-limiting. You basically fill up the stomach, it tastes delicious, and you're good. You just cannot overeat on that. You cannot have a 2000 calories binge on whipped egg, because after consuming, like, I have big stomach. I can fit food, trust me. I'm a big guy with a big stomach. And like 500 calories, maybe that's it. That's what will fit in there if I try to eat as much as I want, and then I just can't add anymore. It's not possible. Yeah, I agree that nuts are very healthy, that have plenty of healthy fats, plenty of protein. It's just the thing that you can easily overeat. There are some healthy foods that you can overeat on, which is not generally healthy, but still, it is better to overeat on healthy foods, as at least it will keep you full for longer. If you overeat of highly processed junk food, you'll be hungry after 2 to 3 hours. That's a difference. Even if you overeat, still healthy food is a winner. I agree that food can be like a drug. I had the same problem with sweets. I limited them. I didn't eliminate anything. What I love to eat, I still have. Not all the time. I limited it. And what helps a lot, adding, like, that was the biggest one for me. Making one big healthy meal that I eat daily. This helps so much, as you provide all those nutrients. You provide the satisfaction from nutrients you didn't even know you need. Then it helps so much to then do not binge on ultra-processed foods. How do you make the eggs? It's simple. You just need a good mixer. You put 2 or 3 eggs, depend how much you want. You add 1 teaspoon of sugar per egg. It depends how big your teaspoon of sugar is. That's about 6 grams for me. 6 grams of sugar per egg. And you mix it for 5 minutes. If you mix it for 5 minutes, it will give you very stable foam. It's kind of white foam. Maybe I will show you in the future like a recipe and how it looks like. And then you just take a fork, take a strawberry or piece of strawberry, depending how big those are, dip it into this foam and you eat it like that. It's so delicious. I don't know if you will find it so delicious, but for me, it is so incredibly delicious. This sweetness, this creamy foam with natural fat from egg yellow, this creamy sweet foam combined with this fresh, delicious and juicy strawberry. It's just so good. And you can have such a big portions. You can just, it's like those 3 eggs will give you volume of about 2 pints over 1 liter of volume of the foam that is very stable to dip your strawberries in. And perceived sweetness is way higher than you would expect from 3 teaspoons of sugar. You could probably use sweeteners if you really hate sugar, but it's not the same. For me, using sweeteners is just not the same. No boiling, no boiling. Don't boil those eggs. Raw eggs, CPT glow stick, no boiling. Room temperature, raw eggs. Not even refrigerating. I noticed that very cold eggs will be harder to whip. It's harder if they're refrigerated. And if you are from States, maybe you have them refrigerated. That's the difference egg-wise. In Europe, we do not refrigerate our eggs. No, I'm not talking about whipped cream. Whipped eggs. It's kind of similar thing. Whipped, but slightly different taste. Whipped egg. But it doesn't taste like egg. What is so surprising, you take this full raw eggs, add a little bit of sugar, and whip them for 5 minutes. They do not taste like eggs anymore. They change into a dessert, which is quite cool. Yeah, try it, CPT glow stick, and let me know if you like it. I know not everyone like it the same. It's very tasty for me. It is delicious. I know it's not the same for everyone. Not everyone likes... Some people, like... I met people that say that raw eggs are disgusting. I'm like, what? Did you ever try to eat it? Like, I know if you take a raw egg and try to swallow it like that, I don't like it either. Because it's the texture. And you don't really taste it. But add a little bit of sugar. Whip it. And you have some totally new food. Egg in coffee, yeah. And yeah, love egg in coffee. If you cannot have milk in your coffee, try eggs. A little bit tricky part to do not boil them. That ruin the coffee. But if you know what you do, you can have egg. There is probably like tons of recipes for egg coffee. I think it calls Vietnamese coffee, something like that. Not sure. Something is there. It has a name. Crack it into your chocolate mocha. Yeah, you can do that too. All right. What else I wanted to talk? There was something else. Okay, let me see on the groceries. fresh food maybe now. Fresh food. Okay. Fresh food category on Tesco. And, oh, here, butter appeared. The normal butter. That's cool. We have some flair. Okay, what's on the... Oh, strawberries. Do they list the nutrients? They list energy, but they like... Oh, there is. I don't like those. This makes absolutely no sense. They list per portion. What the heck is portion? What is one portion? Like, it's different for everyone. For me, what's this package? 227 gram. For me, it is one portion or less. The whole package is less than one portion for me. Then how does it make any sense? Oh, there is per 100 gram. That makes more sense. At least you can translate it into something. Then it's free. 33 calories. Just 33 calories per 100 gram of strawberries. The whole package will have like 70 calories. Then portion, that will be a portion for me. About 70 calories. It is really low. And I do know some people will say calories do not mean anything. And no, they do mean a lot. Calorie is amount of energy contained in food. And that's exactly what it is. It does not mean everything. Your diet shouldn't be based on total calories. It should be based on nutrients you need. And somehow we twisted everything and we organize our diet based on total calories, which makes totally no sense. If you try to limit your calories, as I said before, without providing enough nutrients, you will be still in starvation mode, which is not good. You will be malnourished. We should focus our diet on enough nutrients, not enough calories. We have it on reversed. But calories do matter. They do have meaning. Therefore, 70 calories, you can see that this food is really good because there's plenty of nutrients and only a little bit of calories, which means you will be able to compensate eating those strawberries for some sugar you will use with them. Like if I add sugar to the strawberries, I increase the caloric value without changing the nutrients. But if there is already a little bit more nutrients than I need, I can go away with added sugar without suffering consequences. Now, protein will be very low, but in the same time, it's 0.6 gram of protein per 33 calories, then it's not a big deal. It's very little calories to start with. And usually people look at protein per 100 gram and judge it based on that. What I like to do, if I want to see if food is good or bad protein-wise, I would prefer to recalculate it and see on protein per 100 calories rather than protein per 100 gram. That makes more sense. If we could see the nutritional value, they never do that, but I would love to see per 100 calories, what the nutrition value per 100 calories, that would be so much more meaningful. Per weight is not really meaningful. It should be per energy. Nutrients versus energy, not nutrients versus weight. Like if I take water, let's say I make a drink that will contain 99 grams of water and I add 1 gram of sugar, then I will have a drink with 4 calories and 1 gram of sugar. Will it make it healthy because it's low in sugar? No, it will be still pointless sugar in my water. Then it doesn't make sense this way. Makes much more sense if we recalculate per 100 calories. If this will be per 100 calories, we triple everything. Then it will be 1.5 gram fat, 18 gram of carbohydrates, and 1.8 gram of protein, if this will be per 100 calories, which will make much more sense. There is some vitamin C. They don't list all the other nutrients, but every single whole food have multiple nutrients. If you Google it, there's usually like list of 40, 50, sometimes 60 different nutrients and minerals contained in food. But this is like very misleading for me because of that. It just lists vitamin C. And you look at that and you think that's all you need in food. That's misleading labeling. I don't know if it's intentional or not. Because you look at strawberries, you look at the vitamin C, and you think that all that it is there. It's everything that matters. Then you compare it to like a candy with added vitamin C, and you'll be, yeah, the same thing. I can have candy that will have maybe 33 calories a piece, or 100 grams of strawberries. And I will be like the same thing. They both have mostly carbohydrates and some vitamin C. But it is not how it works. It's very misleading. It's not how it works. And on top of that, there is plenty of research showing that synthetic vitamins do not correspond one-to-one with actual food. You cannot replace it. I have my vitamins, like I'm not against taking some vitamins to add to your diet. I have some that I'm taking once a day. Yeah, I'm not promoting any. That's what I bought because it says, like, can it focus? Yeah. Because it says that mostly from natural sources, no GMO, no stuff like that. Vegan friendly, that doesn't really matter for me, but that's a food supplement that have a huge list of ingredients, and usually above 100% of daily requirement. But I know by myself from my own testing on me, if I take those, I'm supposed to get almost everything from one capsule. If I take it and I will eat ultra processed food like sweets, ice creams, and so on, I will not feel the same as when I eat a whole food, a proper meal, when I eat a proper meal from my wok that I cook once per 3 days. And yeah, some people will say that once per 3 days, maybe it's not so healthy if this stays like that there, but I do believe that my food that I prepare for myself from Whole Foods, even though I cook it once per 3 days, I do not refrigerate it. It stays in the kitchen, in the wok. I just boil it, like reheat and boil it on daily basis. I still believe it's way more healthy than any other way I could have food. And what I like to do, I just add something fresh on top on the wok when I'm reheating it, like green beans or something, to have something fresh, just slightly boiled to soften it up. Then that's how I treat most of my food intake. I don't have time to prepare lots of food. I have one main meal in one huge wok. It's ready once per 3 days. I cook it. Done. I spent a lot of time to actually cook it. It's about an hour I'm spending to cook it. But that's mainly because I'm not a chef. I'm very slow at cutting those vegetables. Before I cut all those vegetables to fill it up, it's like an hour go by. But it's only once per 3 days. Then that's all the time as I'm really spending preparing my food. Or other food, even the healthy ones, it's fast. Like this whipped egg, take me 5 minutes to prepare. Or I do a chocolate fudge from my oatmeal. Then that takes like 3 to 4 minutes to prepare. About as much time as I need to brew my coffee. Then I'm brewing my coffee, and this time I'm preparing my chocolate fudge, oatmeal. I'm addicted to chocolate. I say that openly. I'm addicted to chocolate, and I do not plan to get rid of this addiction. Chocolate stays in my diet. I just try to avoid eating lots of, like, the milk chocolate that have like almost 600 calories per 100 gram, because that's so easy to eat too much. Sometimes I will eat chocolate like that, but usually I like to prefer like this oatmeal chocolate fudge that's way bigger portion. It will be like a pound in weight with just a little bit more calories than 100 gram of chocolate. Therefore, yeah, that's a way to go for me, and perfect with coffee. Perfect with coffee. No more carrots for what? Why no more carrots for me? I like carrots. I eat carrots. Oh, Jules, I heard a lot about insulin spike and sugar. To be absolutely honest, most of it's total Brahmin physis. Okay, that would be a censored version to say that. Total Brahmin physis does not matter at all. And I'm telling that based on my own experience. I was into sports a little bit more when I was young. I was swimming. I had friends that were doing triathlon. And most of those people eat tons of carbohydrates and sugars. Insulin is normal. You want insulin to be present. If you have no insulin, you are diabetic. You don't want to be diabetic. You want to have insulin response for sugar. It was never a problem in history on humankind. There are tribes that mainly eat honey, which is pure sugar. And apart from the fact that they have really bad tooth due to eating so much honey, they're not even obese. They're healthy. They don't have diabetes either. Then it's not the sugar the biggest problem. I don't believe in sugar theory, apart from the fact that high amount of added sugar everywhere increase the empty calories, which will be the problem. But I don't believe in insulin theory because it doesn't fit with my own experience. I heard this theory and I think it's some kind of a doctor on the YouTube that you can find that his theory is that basically we are getting obese because of insulin. And to give a quick response, if this will be true that every time you eat sugar, insulin is blocking your ability to lose weight, like he's saying that insulin response basically switch your body into storage mode from using fat mode, my friend that was doing triathlon would be dead by now. Why? Because when he's running, swimming, cycling, he's drinking, and I do not recommend drinking those in such quantities, but the isotonic drinks with glucose, constantly consuming them, and he's shredded. Therefore, if this will be true, how he can exist? He could not exist. He could not exist with his constant consumption of glucose. He would not be able to exist if insulin model will be true. Therefore, it is not true. For me, it's logic like that. It's not true. It's basically not possible. Oh, George, you prefer dark chocolate? Unfortunately, I prefer the one with milk. The less healthy one. Like, I will tell you, guys, I do prefer the milk chocolate. I like dark chocolate, but I prefer milk chocolate, and that's a problem. The insulin resistance, you know that you can have insulin resistance even if majority of your diet is fat? Not everyone knows that. It's not the people that eat only sugar. You can have majority of calories from fat and develop insulin resistance. What insulin resistance usually means is eating too much calories. That's what in the title, overfed, undernourished. We do not eat enough of nutrients. and we need to eat more and more to provide nutrients, we are ending up with more calories than we can use. Those need to be stored. And when our storage is full, glycogen is full, fat cells do not want to eat anymore. We are developing insulin resistance. This is what I was able to find out when investigating this topic. It seems like the most logical conclusion. Yeah, type 2 diabetics, it's connected with weight gain. I was pre-diabetic not a long time ago. That's one of the reasons I decided to change my diet. Then it's not only sugar. Sugar contributes because it has calories without nutrients, but empty fats contribute equally. And empty protein will contribute equally. If you think that protein powder will give you better results, it will not. But I like checking all those research. And insulin is a very interesting topic, but I feel like it's being switched from looking for the reason of the problem into looking at insulin as the problem. And insulin is just a hormone we need. It's not a problem by itself. Yeah, we are chatting. I'm not starting any war. I'm just sharing my point of view. I'm open to any discussion. I don't want to start any wars. I'm just sharing what I found. I'm trying to have a balanced view, and I'm checking every research I can find on YouTube, and not only on YouTube, and every doctor and not doctor that is commenting on those topics. And then I like to dig deeper to figure out what's the actual reason and what the cause. Not only like what is the body response. I know now very popular are those continuous glucose monitors that you can attach to yourself and observe amount of glucose in your blood, which is cool. But it leads to some people to treating every increase in sugar as direct enemy. And you can eliminate sugar almost completely from your diet and there will be no response. There will be no insulin spike at all. It is called keto diet. But I'm not a big fan of a keto diet unless you have any medical reason to use it. It's a very restrictive diet. It's not the diet I could sustain. It's not tasty for me at all. I would definitely lose weight trying to do keto as I would not be able to eat much at all. But will I get healthy? Most likely not. Yeah, that's the problem. If you don't do anything when you are pre-diabetic, then you're getting diabetic and that causes problems. There is a lot of way to deal with that, but mainly what seems to be always the case, 90%, at least 90% times, losing weight solves the type 2 and pre-diabetes. But the best if you can lose it healthy, because you can lose it just by not eating at all. It's possible as well. I found some people that did that. Basically fasting until you are slim. You can do that, but it's terribly difficult. I did once 3 days without eating, and it's quite difficult. Maybe I will try to repeat it in the future to see if the experience will be the same. Definitely I will not be doing often. It's tough. If someone will tell you that stopping and not eating for 3 days is easy, do not listen to them. They're lying. It's not easy to stop eating even for 3 days. If someone will tell you that it's easy to not eat for 10 days, I can imagine it's not true either. Make turtle not warrior. We don't need wars. We are open for every input. And I'm not saying that I never make a mistake. I'm doing my research. It does not mean that I will be always right. I can be mistaken and you can be right. It's possible. I will still share my point of view and my conclusions. So that's the point. I'm happy to help Matthew. I'm happy to help. And I spent a lot of time trying to research that, and that's my main conclusion. Like, that's why this is the first podcast. I think that's the main reason of all the overlying problems. Like, that's the foundation of our problems. Overfed, undernourished. That's the foundation. There is more, of course there is more, but without like sorting the foundation, without starting from sorting our diet, we cannot really get into any good state. And I think that will be everything for the first podcast on this channel. I hope you enjoyed that. There is more to come. If you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comments section. And we'll be back in some time with another podcast, another videos. Maybe I will share some of my recipes, the lazy recipes, because I have no time. Have no time for cooking. I'm not a good chef. I don't know how to cook super delicious food, but I know how to make food that tastes good and is I think healthy. Hopefully I will not make mistake and try to eat food that will happen to not be healthy, but I don't think there is too much risk. I will figure out something as bad as margarine was. Then we are safe here. As long as I eat whole food, I'm pretty confident. At worst, it will be neutral. I have scientific approach to everything, from gaming to lifestyle. I don't like religious approach for myself. If one of you like religious approach to food, like vegan, carnivore, whatever, it is beneficial from one point of view. The people that have religious approach to food, they have really good adherence to the diet. They really stick to it. They really follow it. Like that's up to the crazy level of extent. Then there is definite benefit to that. And usually those religious diet are not too bad, as what I noticed they have in common, that they ask you to avoid highly processed food. Therefore, they basically doing similar thing I advertise, but way more restrictive and to the religious extent. And that being said, thanks to all of you for joining, for support, to Lazy Fit Gamer. Lazy Fit Gamer for you, even if there will be someone who's not a gamer. I hope it will be helpful. More to come. Let's hope we all can stay healthy, doing what we love to do, without giving up on life for diet. That's what I don't want to do. No giving up the life for diet. I want both. Thanks for all the love, guys. I love you too, regardless what your opinion is. Every opinion is welcome. That's the one thing you need to remember. I agree or disagree. You are welcome to have your own opinion. That's what I support. Have your opinion. It's a good thing to have your own opinion. It's a good thing to have different opinion than someone else. It is a good thing. If everyone will have the one opinion, we can go extinct one day. If we all make the same mistake and kill ourselves by eating bad stuff, we'll get extinct. Therefore, it's better if we make different decisions. And that being said, Turtle is signing out. Thank you for your support and see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.